Hello and welcome back to Medieval Dynasty. We are on day 2, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're heading to Gostovia. Let's quickly grab something to eat, maybe another oat roll. Yes. A good morning. Oh, the rabbit trap, yes. That's something to drink. Let's quickly take a look. This is our stink meter, dirtiness. If we go far enough into the river, we will be clean. Might also drink something while we're here. Yes. That should be enough. Yes, dirtiness is all the way up. Okay. Now, leave the meat in here. And the fur. We take the fur with us and the wheat to sell it. We have no use for these things right now. Feathers, we keep the feathers. And yes, when we keep the feathers, we can need use them for to craft arrows later on. So, grab the spear just in case. Oh, another rabbit. Haha. I think I'll look for... Oh, broadleaf plantain. Yes, that is healing stuff. We should grab that. Whenever we find one. Find some. I think that gives... What does it give? 2 health. Okay. Okay, I thought that was more. That's not really a lot, right? Like, might as well pick up the daisies and the... What were the others called? Dandelion, yes. And stones again. 20 stones is what we need and 50 sticks, right? That's a bit tedious in the beginning, but we need a little bit of money to start with. Well, in the end you always need money, you need the taxes every year. Unlocking the recipes costs money. And picking up stuff will also bring our skills up. So especially in the beginning, that's not a bad thing. Oh, look what we have there. Some barrels. Flaxseed, yes. Please. Thank you very much. And some flour. We can sell that. And we are encumbered already. Okay. Need more sticks. Maybe I picked up too many stones. So how many sticks do we have? Maybe we can already craft a few knives at least, so that we are not encumbered anymore. Would give us enough for 5 or 6 knives, I believe. 6, okay. Okay. Oh, new building unlocked. Workshop. Let me check this. Technology. Workshop, there it is. Okay, we unlock this by crafting items. Okay. And we have skill points. For what? For survival, okay. Put them both into here. Now we get 15% more experience. How proficient you are in surviving and gathering. This is picking up stuff. That's like... This is the next one I want to have. The survival sense. Seeing sticks, stones, mushrooms, feathers and herbs in inspector mode. This is really good. Need a few more sticks. 20 sticks if I counted correctly. There we are, yes. Guys, be careful before starting the craft. Let's do the next 4 knives. And then we head to Gostovia. Yes, here we go. Well, we have 20 knives to sell, right? That should give us around 400 coins, I believe. Another rabbit. I'm so paranoid, Sam, ever since they introduced the bandits. Did we check this? Yes. That was where the wheat was, right? I've never used these wagoners. I find them way too expensive. So, Waldemar, we can sell stuff to him.
How is life treating you?
Oh, very well. Thank you very much. Show me your wares.
Never disappoint.
Never disappoint, of course not. So where do we have the knives? Here, 22 even. 440, yes. And then we keep the flaxseed. We don't need the flour. 10 bucks. We don't need the fur. Yeah. We don't need the wheat. Okay. Keep the stones and the flaxseed and all the other stuff. Yes, very good. Farewell.
Have a good day.
Let me have a quick save here. Talk to Dobroniega. Where is Dobroniega? Hey, Uniegost. Alwin, there's Alwin. Okay. Let's start the Alwin quest line. Hey Alwin, what can I do for you? Hi, my name is Rasimir. Hi, I'm Alwin. I don't recognize you. Are you new here? I came here from the south. I'm looking for a new place for myself where I can start a new life. Good luck to you then. As for me, I'm a farmer. My job is to cultivate fields. In fact, I do the same work every day, year by year. Doesn't it get boring over time? If I were you, I would die of monotony. Of course it bores me. How long can you do the same thing in your life over and over again? But my family needs my help, and I'm doing my best to provide for them. I did not mean to offend you, I'm sorry. There is no need for you to apologize. I'm a bit annoyed and short-tempered recently. There is a delicate matter that won't let me focus on my work. What's that, Alwin? Maybe I could be of some aid? It may seem pity, but I'm really tired of my mother's conflict with Dobroniega. Her son Dalibor won't leave my little sister Olga alone. Oh, we met Olga already, right? That very little one. I understand it's just a game for him. After all, when I was his age, I played with Dobroniega, his older sister. I pretended to be a knight, equipped with a stick instead of a sword, but anyway, I managed to protect her honor. Like every knight does, it's adorable in its way. Anyway, let's get down to earth. I think he needs something to keep him busy and away from my sister. So that you could work with a clear mind again, huh? It would be nice, indeed. I'll see what I can do. Okay. Alwin's story, let's see. J for journal. Where can we find Alwin's story? Here, F, track quest. Deliver to Dalibor, 1 stick. And where do we find Dalibor? Over there. So we grab a stick. Oh, here he is. Dalibor. Hi. Hi, you're Dalibor, right? Yes. You look very strong for your age. Have you ever thought of becoming a knight? It's my dream. Are you a knight? No, but I know quite a lot of them. I know quite a lot about them. Oh, did you know that many of them started learning to fight with a wooden sword already at your age? Where could I get such a sword? Not a knight. Not a knight. It just so happens that I have one with me, and I can give it to you, because you are clearly worthy. I'm honored. It may look inconspicuous, but it is certainly an excellent practice weapon for an aspiring knight like you. Give a stick. It looks a bit like a regular stick. Yes, it is. To surprise your opponents. And do you know what else knights do besides fighting battles? They ride horses. This as well, but most of all they protect the ladies and children from danger and make sure that no harm is done to them. Really? Sounds like a lot of work. Yes, this is the most important principle of chivalry. Chivalry, how do you pronounce? I don't know. Alright, thank you for the sword, not a knight. Now, I am going to defend those in need. You're welcome, young master, you're welcome. Yes. Go back and talk to Alwin. Where can we find Alwin? Oh, there he is. Still standing here. Hey, Alwin. I have solved your problems with Dalibor. Yes, I saw him running around the village with a stick. He must have an amazing gift of persuasion. This young one does not listen to anyone. You gave me an idea with that stick and the story about a knight. By the way, I got this bread from Dobroniega as an apology for her brother's behavior. But I think you've earned it. Here, take it. Thank you. So we got something to eat. Good. No problem, it's the most refined bread you've eaten. Our Castellan's wife makes them in our local tavern. Oh, do you happen to know the man in charge, Uniegost, well? No, not really. I spend most of the time on the field, and our paths only cross when it's time to pay some taxes. Alright then, see you soon. Goodbye, Alwin. So, wait for the next summer is Alwin's story. Okay, next summer is in 2 days. So, Uniegost's story. Talk to Dobroniega. Now she's here, okay. Yeah, she runs the tavern. Good day, Dobroniega. Hello, what can I help you with? Hi, you're Dobroniega, right? Nice to meet you, I'm Rasimir. That's right, nice to meet you too, Rasimir. What brings you to me? Hunger, thirst and Uniegost. Uniegost told me that you can fix me up with some food. I haven't eaten a proper meal in weeks. Well, it depends on what proper means to you, but I can offer you something warm and filling. That sounds more than amazing. There you go. Now tell me something about yourself. How do you know my husband? There's nothing much to say, really. I just arrived at the valley looking for my uncle Jordan. Didn't expect to be done searching so quickly, to be honest. Oh yes, he was Uniegost's friend. I remember now hearing that he had eyes just like yours. I'm sorry for your loss. That's okay. I don't even remember him, really. Most that I know about him is from my mother's stories. She always looked up to her big brother, loved him furiously even when he stopped visiting. A lot of people did from what I've heard. There was something special about him. Yeah, tough shoes to fill, huh? The only shoes that you need to worry about filling are your own. Every man is the architect of his own fortune. Thank you for saying that. It is what I needed to hear. But let's not talk about me anymore. What's your story? I was a part of a traveling band of troubadours. I've never managed to learn how to play any instrument, but I was pretty decent with my singing. Our travels brought us to the valley not long after the death of your uncle. I still remember seeing Uniegost for the first time. He had so much sadness in his eyes. Jordan wasn't just a friend of his, he was a part of him. The band left a few days later. I stayed. There was something in Uniegost's presence that I simply knew my place was by his side. You probably noticed the age difference? No, not really. What? Are you implying that I look old? Nothing of sorts, anyway. So it looks like you were anchored here by love. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, you could call it that. Or blindness or stupidity. Poor judgment maybe, whatever sounds best to you. Pretend all you like. You fell hard for the grandpa with sad eyes and you know it. I did. He annoys me sometimes like nobody else, yet I can imagine breathing without him now. But don't let me go all soft on you. You surely got some places to go. It was a pleasure talking with you, Dobroniega, every second of it. Here, I know it's not much, but it will come in handy when starting a new life. Everything costs coins these days. I really appreciate that, but I'm not looking for a charity. I'll manage. Oh, come on, don't try to be a hero. Man. Alright, do something for me then. It won't be a handout, just your first pay. Then I can agree on. What do you need? There's a farmer in the village. She's called Dobroniega. It's a farmer in the village? Yeah, she's called Dobroniega. She usually supplies the tavern with rye, but I haven't got anything from her in a while. My stock is almost gone, and you don't even want to imagine what would happen to these people when we run out of beer. Oh my. Consider it done. While we're speaking of beer, Uniegost asked me to grab a couple for us. Of course, here you go. Great, thank you. He promised to tell me some stories about Jordan. Oh, I see. Well, in that case... Haha, thank you. Got another one. Got more beer, okay. Delivered to Uniegost. Oat ale times 2. Where is Uniegost? Hey Alwin, are you bugged or something? He's usually up there working the fields. And Uniegost sitting here, that is unusual. Okay, let's see what he has to say. Rasimir. Hey Uniegost, you're looking at the proud house owner from the valley. And I'm back bearing beers. A job well done indeed. Alright, let me wet my throat with this amber goodness and start reminiscing. I knew Jordan for 22 years before he died. He was my best and truest friend. A brother actually. I remember the day we met as if it was yesterday. I was 25 at the time, living in the big city of Jellenberg, where I was born. You could say I hated that place, but still it was the only home I ever knew. Maybe someday I'll tell you more about that. Anyway, I was forced to take care of my own. So I did. Doing the only thing that I could. Stealing. Oh, I didn't read what Rasimir said, but okay. I was, and a bloody good one if I might say. Picking pockets was my bread and butter. I could steal a piece of steak right from your fork, and you wouldn't even notice. It wasn't greed that motivated me, just survival, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the process. Stealing is still a crime, no matter the motivation. I'd say you'll want to wait and hear a bit more before getting all high and mighty on me. I'm sorry, go on. We had an annual festival at Jellenberg. It always brought a whole bunch of outsiders to town. You can imagine what that meant for a man in my profession. I could do a day's worth of work in a matter of minutes. I grabbed a few coins here and there, some jewelry, a pair of new boots, and then I saw a nobleman with a money bag strapped to his belt. It was basically begging to be set free. I sneaked behind him in the crowd, like I did 1,000 times before, child's play. I gently grabbed the pouch, did a little shimmy magic, and there it was, sitting neatly in my palm. Just needed to turn around and disappear like always, and then wham! Bam! What happened? I was punched in the face by what felt like a bull, and I was so shocked I didn't even realize what happened until I hit the ground. My head was pounding, I could barely see straight, and do you know what was the first thing I saw next? Another blow coming? Haha, no, a smile. A big radiant smile on the face of the man with two different eyes. It was your Uncle Jordan. The one I took for a nobleman. He stuck his hand out, helped me get up and offered me a beer. Just like that? Just like that. I don't get it. That's just how Jordan was. You see, your uncle was deadly clever. Smartest man I've ever known, hands down. He could see the world like nobody else, predict things. He was always at least a dozen steps ahead of anyone else. So, on a rare occasion that somebody surprised him, he was intrigued. And he wasn't expecting you. Indeed. Apparently, even despite my failure, I was still the one that came the closest to robbing him. And he liked that. So, I'm guessing you accepted his invitation, right? I didn't really have a choice, did I? I was terrified of the guy at that moment, so we went. He took me to the most expensive and most crowded tavern in the whole town. Remember that it was the day of the festival. Even entering that place was next to impossible. He didn't seem to care, though. In the matter of seconds we were sitting at the table being served by two barmaids at the same time. It was surreal. In my mind there was only one explanation: he owned the place. And did he? Not at all. It was his first time in Jellenberg. It all felt like a dream, to be honest, especially with me still being dazed after the punch. I was still sure he was a nobleman. His manners, his clothes, the way he talked and moved. And then he chugged a beer like it was a race, wiped the face with his sleeve and burped like a drum. Went from the lord to the savage like that. Snaps fingers. I relived that moment a dozen times until I realized why he did that. It wasn't a mistake, oh no. No laziness, no moment of weakness. He wanted me to see it, to understand it. Understand what? That he was full of crap. You see, Rasimir, your uncle was one of a kind. He was a true master of arms, and his weapon of choice was his confidence. What does that even mean? Imagine a closed door with 2 armed guards at its side. And you want what is inside. What are your options? You can force yourself in, bribe the guards, try to pick a lock. But Jordan, he just holds his head up high, walks right in and demands the door to be open. You were right, that all sounds surreal. I never knew that about my uncle. My mother's stories were quite different. Because I'm afraid she knew a quite different Jordan than me. Than everybody in the pack. Wait, the pack? Oh dear Rasimir, there is so much more you still don't know. Our story hasn't even really begun, but it's getting late. Come on, you can't just leave me hanging like that. Alright, I'm going to tell you a bit more. After that beer we had a couple more, then some meat, if I remember correctly. We were talking about our past, our dreams, convictions, started making some junk and absurd plans. I thought we were joking, to be honest. The next thing I remember is waking up in silk sheets. I'm guessing they weren't yours, correct? Are you kidding? It was the first time I even touched fabric like that. The ceiling in the chamber was so high it could fit a giant. I thought I was dreaming. Then the servants walked in. I was ready to flee, but instead of fighting me, they presented me with breakfast. Really? How come? It was all Jordan's doing. I never found out how he managed to pull it off. Whenever I asked, he just burst into laughter, even years after. Needless to say, I left Jellenberg with him on that day, the first time I went outside of the town's walls, and never came back. That was the day the pack was born, and 3 years later there were 5 of us. A real team, a family. We called ourselves the Reminders. Oh, how I wish I could be there. That all sounds incredible. I never had adventures like that and probably never will. Easy, my boy, it wasn't always fun and lovely. But it's a tale for another time. It really did get late and I'm sure you still have a lot of work to do. Come and find me tomorrow, we'll talk some more. I'll do that. Thank you, Uniegost, for everything. Okay. What's the time? Let me check. 10 to 6. Okay, I think next time what I'll do is have a quick save before the dialogue. Then read out the dialogue and then reload the quick save and go through it quickly. Because you can lose so much time just talking. Oh, what's the symbol there? Intoxication maybe? Or yes, because of the beer, yes. Okay, let's see what do we have. Flat bread, 4 of those ales. We can actually sell them. Nice. Some porridge. That's what we got from Dobroniega, I assume. Okay. Oh, before we forget. Hope it's not too late. Let's buy from Edwin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Show me your wares, Abby.
I've got it.
Yes, we need a simple bag will do, I would say. Give me 1 bag. Then we need some fertilizer. 15 to be precise. 15 fertilizer, that costs 112, okay. And then we need seeds. I want to have cabbage seeds. 15, if we can, please. 180. Ah, okay. Don't think we need anything else from him. No. Do we have stuff to sell? Flax, no. I won't sell anything. Farewell. Good day. See you soon, yes. Nice. Okay. These are the potential villagers for us. Let's see what we have. Manfred, Nidomira. Neither of them is really good. Let's see, how old are you, Nidomira? 20. Oh, nice. Let's do some romance. Come on, while we're here. You seem very interesting. Can I ask you something? I love the local cuisine here. What's your favorite food? Work can get often under your skins. What do you do in your spare time? Where do you come from? Tell me something about your birthplace. I go with the first one. Let's see. Anything that I'll grow myself. But if I really had to choose, I'd say cabbage. It has layers and it's green, which seems like a whole lot better choice than an onion for an analogy. Actually, never mind, okay.
Have a good day.
Farewell. Wife, yeah, thank you. Okay, then I would say, what's the time now? 6:30. Let's get back home and see if we can do anything with the fields. Do we have everything? We got the bag. Yes, if I equip the bag of fertilizer. Okay, that's good. Don't waste any time. Get back home and see that we get the fields done. Tomorrow we can go and grab a few berries. These bushes are berry bushes. You can only pick them in spring and summer. In the spring they are unripe and not really edible. But we can let them rot, and with the rot we can craft fertilizer. Ah yes, this is so nice, so beautiful. Oh, we could try and find... there's an abandoned camp somewhere here. Not camp, but like a fireplace with a tent and so. Somewhere here. Oh, there's a moose over there. It was somewhere here in the forest. If we're lucky, we find a bow or something good in there. Where is it? I thought there was somewhere here. Maybe it's not always there. Maybe it's not a fixed location. I thought it was. Always thought it was a fixed thing. That's a lynx. Okay. Okay, maybe it is not a fixed thing. It's actually the first time I'm playing this game that this camp is not there. It has been literally every time I play it, this camp has been there. But okay, it is what it is. I thought we could make some quick loot while we're here. Oh, maybe we have something to eat. Flatbread gives 45, old roll gives 55. Let's have this one. And have something to drink. And grab the bag and prepare the field. New building unlocked. Food storage, yes, okay. Very good. Okay, do we have the hoe with us? No, we don't. And what's the time, by the way? 9 o'clock, okay. Light the fire, grab the hoe. Wooden hoe, there it is. 72%. Okay, equip the hoe. Let's put it on the 4. Hope it's not too dark. Can we do... Oh, you can only have either the hoe or the torch. I hope it's not too dark for the video. Maybe I can brighten this up later. Yes, very good. Back to the bag. Right click, field, and where do we have the cabbage? Cabbage, yeah. Nice. Good thing is we don't need tools to harvest the cabbage. You can just pick them with your hands. New building unlocked, the barn, yes. Need the barn to make fertilizer. Yes, very good. First field is done. Okay, let's check the technology, the tech tree. So, we need to build a little bit to get the resource storage unlocked. Hunting lodge, what do we need to do? Develop this technology by hunting animals, setting traps and fishing. Okay, we're already doing that. I'm not so good at hunting, honestly. Food storage, and we got the barn, that is good. Workshop, also very good. Yes, I would like the next things I would want to have is a food storage and a resource storage. Then the workshop might be nice. We need this to craft the wooden bowls and wooden plates so that we can actually cook. We can do some cooking. What's with the rabbit? Yes. So, put all the stuff into here. Flax seeds, the fur. Sticks and stones, we can keep them. I think I keep carrying this stuff with us. Health, you never know when you need health stuff. But the meat, the ale and stuff like this can go in here. The bag can go in here as well. The hoe can go in here. Yes. Everything else we take with us. That's good. So 11 of 35 kilograms. Yes, very good. What time is it? 10 past 10, okay. Yeah, that was a good second day. Let's check the journal. So this is only to survive one season, okay. With these chapters is where you unlock the building limit. I will believe we have a building limit. Let's see if we can check the management tab. There we can see buildings 1 of 5. So we can have 5 buildings by now. And this will increase with the chapters. So back to the journal. Chapter 3 will have the next increase, I believe. So this will go on its own the next season, which is after 3 days. Uniegost story, wait for the next day. Alwin story, wait for the next summer even. Dobroniega story, find out what is wrong with the rye delivery. Where is that? Let's see. Yeah, sorry. 500 meters somewhere in Gostovia even. Yeah, okay. So we go back to Gostovia tomorrow for Uniegost's story and also for Dobroniga's story. But I would also like to build the food and the resource story. Okay. But for today that shall be it. There was a nice day, a good one, good one. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I see you in the next episode. Until then, have a nice day. Goodbye.